All right, thanks, Linda. Guys, I love doing stand-up comedy. I love working with all these funny comedians that we have on the bill tonight. But a couple weeks ago, I worked with a comedian. He told a story that brought back a childhood memory. He talked about finding his father's stash of pornography, and he and his dad bonded over that moment. When I was 9, I found my father's stash of pornography. Now, we didn't bond over that moment, but that's when I discovered my father was gay. Johnny Does the Catching is not a baseball film. Even after the third time you watch it, there's no baseball in that film. My mother wasn't much better. When I was a little kid, she didn't think I knew my name, so she bought me this ridiculous shirt that said, "Hello, my name is Joseph John." I look back on that now and realize she was serving me up to the pedophiles on a silver platter with that shirt. So like the idiot that I was, I wore this shirt to school one day. I'm walking home, this weird guy in the van pulls up next to me and says, "Hey, Joseph John, why don't you get in the van? I've got some candy." "Hey, Joseph John, why don't you get in the van? I've got a puppy." I didn't know who he was talking to. My mother was right. I didn't know my fucking name. You know, a couple of comics up here, the older comics talking about getting older. I'm getting older. I'm going to turn 65 this year. Thank you, but I gotta tell you, I'm in no mood to celebrate. It's more of a countdown at this point. And the reason I say that is 63 really gave me some nasty, nasty things like erectile dysfunction, anal leakage. But worst of all, I saw myself naked in front of a full-length mirror. Gravity has not been good to my balls. Some of you might remember that toy, the clackers, the 2 balls at the end of the string. Yeah. Actually, I have to lengthen the string. It's getting worse. It's getting worse by the day. But, you know, as you get older, you have to do different things. And last year was colonoscopy time. You guys know what a colonoscopy is, right? Where they shove that mile-long hose up your ass. And, you know, they didn't put me all the way under. They gave me that twilight. And in the recovery room, the doctor said, "You know, you were talking during the procedure, and you're making us laugh." I said, "Oh, really? What did I say?" So the one thing that we all laughed at was he said, "Come on, fellas, one at a time." As you may or may not know, you know, the day before the colonoscopy, the prep is worse than the operation or procedure itself. And, you know, you can't eat, you have to drink clear liquids, and about 8 o'clock at night, the instructions say you're going to start to evacuate, which, if you don't know, is the medical term for shit your brains out. So 8 o'clock comes, I start to evacuate. 9, 10, 11, 1 o'clock, I'm still going. I'm finally looking in the toilet saying, did I shit out alone? No organs in the toilet, but I wondered when the hell I ate catfish. Because you shit a lot of stuff out. Anyway, but the one thing that baffles me about the whole thing is, at the end, they give you a souvenir picture. Mine's about 3/4 of a mile up my ass, and you know, I went, what do I do with this? Start an album? Put it on the fridge? So I had it in my wallet and dropped it in the supermarket and scared a little kid. That was fun. But getting older, I do still experience some new things. I got a tit pic on my phone. Has anybody ever gotten a tit pic? Yeah, all right. Probably from a girlfriend, somebody you're in a relationship with. I got a tit pic from a woman who I was just friends with. She was in the hospital. She asked me to bring her a sandwich, which I did. 2 days later, she sends me a tit pic. I text her, "Thank you." "Why?" I just want to thank you for bringing me food. I thought about it. If I sent a dick pic to everybody that's brought me food, I'd probably still be in prison. And I can't go back. I won't go back. I was on hard times about 10 years ago. I was put in jail for about 6 months for stealing 3 apples. 6 months for 3 apples. Now, it was 2 iPhones and an iPad, but it was still only 3 apples. I'm dating right now. I'm dating a wonderful woman. She's half Italian, half Polish, which means she knows how to cook, she just doesn't know what to cook. But before I started dating her, I was on all the sites, all the dating sites, and I got kicked off of all the dating sites for telling the truth. I know on this stage I look like a giant, but I'm a short guy, 5'5", 5'6". I call myself a sawed-off Guido. And I can't stand the tall women on those sites that say, "Hey, if you're not as tall as me, don't message me." So I send them a message. And what I send them is, "Listen, I'm not as tall as you, but I have a really big dick, and I can give you the ride of your life. They report me, I get kicked off. One woman, beautiful, 6'3", reaches out and said, baby, what would you do to me with that big dick? I said, I'd climb you like a tree, I'd make you see God, I'd have you screaming for more. She said, baby, that sounds really good. Now what are you gonna let me do to you if my dick's bigger? Just my luck, right? So I report her to the service for false advertising, and they kicked me off. Oh gosh, so I went down to Florida about a year ago, Fort Lauderdale, by myself. And I was getting bored hanging around the pool. So I did a little sightseeing, and I came across this town called Wilton Manors. Has anybody ever heard of Wilton Manors? Second gayest town in America. Despite what I said at the colonoscopy, I'm not gay. But I was curious, so I went into a gay bar and had a drink, minding my own business. This guy comes up to me and he says, how much? How much what? How much hair do you have under that shirt? Nobody's ever asked me that question before. I had no idea how to answer it. So I did what I thought the smartest thing to do in a gay bar was. I lifted my shirt and I showed him. Oh my God, is right. This guy starts petting me. And I figured, okay, I'll be his little Italian shoe pet for a while. Maybe I'll get a free drink. But I said, not below the equator. I'm not gay. He gets right in my face. He says, sweetie, if you ever want to switch teams, you give me a call. I'd love to be your coach. And he gives me his number. And he starts to walk away. As he's walking away, he looks back at me and he said, when you were a little kid, did you have a shirt that said, hello, my name is Joseph John? So I know it's hard to tell. I do CrossFit. I'm doing it wrong, but I do go to CrossFit. I'm doing it for 12 years and I haven't lost any weight. But anyway, I don't know if you know CrossFit. We do like Olympic lifts and things like that. And one of the lifts is called a snatch. And we had a coach in one day and he said, listen, have you ever filmed your snatch? As a matter of fact, if you go to OnlyFans, Sexy Joey 69, you can see that film. All right, guys, my name's Joe Skaraka. Thanks so much.